Good morning, people. Welcome to Geekly. I am your host, Trevor Joya, here at WMSC Upper Montclair. And we have some guests in the studio. We really do have some guests in the studio. It's crazy because it's only 10 a.m. and we already have guests on Geekly. But before we, I think they're just working on things. But before we get into that, let's get into the weather. And then we'll get into the rundown of what to expect on today's show of Geekly. Sorry for the lateness. It's my fault. 100% my fault. But it is currently 69 degrees up here at Montclair State University. It is partly cloudy. Feels like 69. And the high will be 83 and the low will be 69. But tomorrow will be 30% chance of storms. Where the high will be 89 and the low will be 59. And what's up, guys? Hey.
What's up?
What's up?
That's a question.
What's up? So, obviously, what's your guys' name? To introduce yourselves.
I'm Sam Carliner.
Yeah.
Hello. Glad to be here.
My name is Danny Gonzalez. Yeah. Hi.
You're a freshman.
Yes, I am.
You told me off air that you were a freshman.
Yes, I am.
So brand new fresh blood.
Mm-hmm.
I love that joke. Because, we're going to get into what I've been watching on today's show. We're going to get into NYC 2019 Survival Guide, and your results may vary.
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke, but...
Ned's Declassified?
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
I see it, yeah. And we're going to get into why Ghostbusters is the best movie to quote. We're going to get into the Geek Pulse. Then we're going to get into horror TV shows. Then we're going to get into the Horror Meltdown, which is horror news of the week, for those who do not know.
Naturally.
And we're going to get into Halloween Countdown, all the week of happy spooky season. It is October 1st. It is the start of spooky season up here at Montclair State University. And I love that. So Halloween Countdown, week 3 is going to be Your Next and Funny Games. And we're going to get into some horror trivia, see if these guys can see if they can get horror trivia.
I won't.
We're gonna have some. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna also do Spider-Man Celebration, and we're gonna get into something a little bit more serious, which is the Joker controversy and fiction versus reality, which is this idea of fiction versus reality and the whole concept of the Joker controversy. We'll get into that later in the show, and we're also gonna close out the show with the Dark Knight trilogy, talking about that. But What are you doing on this show, Sam?
What am I doing on this show?
Yeah.
Well, I have been meaning to visit for a while, but I've been compelled to because I'm doing something called Sam on Every Show, where I'm going to, ideally, by the end of the semester, go on every single WMSC show. And if I recall correctly, this won Best Show last year, right?
It won Best Talk Show.
So I had to go on this one, but ideally I'm gonna try to go on absolutely all of them.
Yeah,
and so
I try and have fun on this show. My mom compares it to conversations I have with my friends in the basement. That's basically what this show is like.
Well, that's a good concept for a show.
Yeah, it is. It's a great show. And I took inspiration from a bunch of shows like Hollywood Babylon and a bunch of geek shows that I listened to and all that stuff, and pushed it all into a blender and made Geekly. Yeah. Fun fact about the title: I did not come up with the title.
You didn't? Really? Who did?
My friend Adriana.
Shout out Adriana.
Why isn't she
shouting out your friend?
Where is she?
She's part of the Montclarian newspaper.
Oh, wait a minute. Is she the news editor?
Yeah, she's the
I work with her all the time. I write for news. Yeah.
Yeah, she came up with the title. I knew her back at Bergen Community College, so shout out to Adriana. But we're going to get into what I've been watching. What have you guys been watching? Like movies and TV watch.
That's a very complicated question.
That's a very complicated question.
Yeah. I've been watching something I like came out recently, but I forget. You know what? I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but Disenchantment on Netflix.
Disenchantment?
I'm watching season 2. And Glow, I've been rewatching that actually. Tried to get my mom into it, and I succeeded. So now that's our little mother-son bonding activity.
So, have you guys seen The Umbrella Academy on Netflix?
Yeah,
I love The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's so good.
It's great.
Wait, hold on. your take, because you are the expert.
I like it a lot. For me, I saw the first season. I thought it was fantastic. I can't wait to see what they do with season 2, because season 2 is going to be interesting from the comic book, but I don't know what they're going to exactly do. They could take stuff from the comic book, but I'm really interested in seeing what direction they're going to go with.
Did you read the comic book?
No.
Okay.
I just know I know how to look for stuff that I can understand in the comic book.
Like, I know it exists,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, it's like when you're watching like an anime, I would rather watch the anime than read the manga, because it's like spoilers, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it is. It is.
I typically, I'm just bad at reading.
Oh.
I'm a very slow reader, so I with my geek fandoms, it typically is just based on the movies or just based on the TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I just thought it was, honestly, like the style that they do, it felt very comically. Like, it didn't feel like, oh, we're taking a comic and turning it into a TV show. It felt like, oh, I'm watching a comic book, which I really enjoy.
And for me, my favorite thing about it is Gerald Way's the way he put in those songs
Oh yeah.
The soundtrack was
Yeah.
amazing.
The soundtrack was amazing.
It
It was
was.
one of the best soundtracks I've heard in like a comic book show in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying that because I'm like one of those people who's like, yeah, it was really well done.
And also just the cast, it's a lot of no names. I mean, Ellen Page, I believe,
Is the only
big name.
Yeah.
And all of them, I thought, gave incredible performances. So
They
I always
did,
like when a show does that.
And like I think Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige, yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot.
but like I've been watching this show called Angie Tribeca.
I've heard of it. I have no clue what it's about.
It's like a parody cop police procedural show, and it makes fun of police procedural shows, but it does in like a very Monty Python-esque dry humor way, where none of it makes sense, but everything makes sense.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those like head scratching things where you're looking at the show and then you're thinking for a second, that doesn't make sense. That's really funny.
Mm.
Like they have a scene where they're interrogating a bad guy, and they just start rambling off board games like, you'll be sorry, kerplunk, you'll go kerplunk, and all this stuff. And then you find out who they're interrogating. They're interrogating a puppet.
I love just anything with puppets gets me excited.
The second
the
second episode of the show is a ventriloquist being like killed, and like the puppet is like also in that position.
Does the puppet talk, or is it just like a limp puppet in a chair?
It's a limp puppet, and like
that's even better.
No, it's like this. The interrogation, it's a limp puppet, but like the scene where you see the ventriloquist get murdered is like you just see the ventriloquist, and then next to him is his dummy.
Oh
man.
And then you see like him being like the same position.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get
And it's just so funny. You're just like, what?
It's on Netflix?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu? Okay.
Hulu's got some good stuff.
Hulu does have some good stuff, and I like Hulu.
Well, Netflix is also just getting rid of all their good stuff.
Oh, yeah,
so
it's great.
Hulu doesn't need good stuff.
All of their good stuff is being taken by everyone, like, for The Office, right?
Yeah.
NBC is doing their own,
Peacock.
Well, even Netflix is canceling all of their originals.
Yeah.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Some of them was Marvel's fault, because, like, I know, like, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist wasn't good to begin with.
Iron Fist was run by a terrible showrunner. That's why.
Jessica Jones,
I love
though.
Daredevil.
No.
I love.
Iron Fist was run by a terrible showrunner. It was written poorly. It was executed poorly. And everything about it was just not well done. Even though they tried to redeem it in season 2, nobody's going to sit for season 1 and get to season 2.
I watched it only so that I could understand any context I would need to know for the Defenders. And then the Defenders, they just made Danny the main character, basically. So that was disappointing.
And I'm like, why are you doing this to me, Netflix? I'm like sitting there watching it. I'm like, why are you doing this to me, Netflix? I did nothing wrong to you. You know that. I'm like, but I'm just like, no.
I will say, though, I know Daredevil is usually the one that gets the most hype, but Jessica Jones, honestly, is one of my favorite, still to this day, one of my favorite Netflix originals. So I'm glad that one at least sort of got to end properly. I think it was a little rushed, and I didn't like the third season as much, but I feel like they at least were able to write not a cliffhanger.
Not a cliffhanger, because for me, I sat there and said to myself, I like that. For me, it's just very happy and it's very exciting. But
Jessica Jones?
yeah, I never got around to watching it because, like, for me, I have a very particular interest in shows.
Yeah.
That not many shows interest me, not many shows, like, appeal to me. Like, I have this weird thing of, like, I like shows that, like, I like The Expanse. Like, I like more intensely made, well-built shows that just have more story to them and more, like, intensity to them.
See, I feel like I'm different.
Yeah.
I do like a good story, but what keeps me watching a show is, do I like what they do with, like, do I like the characters?
Yeah, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I like the characters. Like, one of my favorite shows is Person of Interest.
Okay.
Even though that's a bit weird for me to say, like, I liked all the seasons. Because even though it was slow paced, it rewarded you after the end of episodes with a little hint of, like, who the character was at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know that there's a rumor going around that Kevin Feige, you know, the guy who's like doing all the Marvel MCU movies, might do something with the those characters, like the Daredevil. Either it's
we don't exactly know if that's true or not.
Well, yeah, it's just floating around.
Yeah.
I did hear, though, that Netflix owns the rights to the shows. I don't know how Disney would be able to get them. As powerful as Disney is, I don't know. I just don't know how the contracts work or whatever.
Contracts are very interesting. But the next topic is New York City Comic Con. It's this week, guys.
Yep.
It's this week.
Wild.
If you're going for the first time, it is going to be insane. Nothing can mentally prepare you for New York City Comic Con. Nothing can. You can say that you've been to multiple conventions. You can say that you've been to small-scale conventions. But when you go to New York Comic Con, the second biggest convention, it's intense.
What's the biggest one?
San Diego.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
San Diego. So we're like, this is the East Coast Comic Con, and the West Coast is San Diego. So basically, I've been going for the past 4 years now. My first one was back in 2015, which is crazy to think that.
I graduated high school that year.
but for me, I went there, had a lot of fun, learned a lot of things, learned things that I'm like, okay, I should do this next time, or I should do that next time. And it's a lot of like people don't tell you exactly how to how to manage Comic-Con and all that stuff. How to get to places, how to do this, how to like basically, because I wanted to do this episode, because I wanted to explain to people, Comic-Con is not easy. It's like, you're gonna go there for if you get there early, you're gonna be there for a long, long time. And one of the things that I recommend is, tip number 1 is bring a good pair of shoes. If you say to me that if you're going to bring Merrells or anything like that, or boots or anything like that, bring an extra pair of shoes.
What about the cosplayers, though?
The cosplayers, I don't know what they do exactly, but for me, I'm just like...
You don't dress up?
I dress up, but I'm just like, it's more like comfortable dress up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like whole elaborates like I saw... One year I saw a full, Hulkbuster costume. Life size.
Wow.
It was one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life.
Some people, they go all out with it.
And
I don't even know how they do it.
I don't even have the sewing techniques to do cosplay. And I'm like...
I mean, there's Amazon.
I feel like it's not cosplay, though, if you're buying the stuff. Sorry.
But, for me, I'm just I'm saying to you, even that stuff is really expensive.
Yeah.
When you look into it, it's not cheap. Cosplay is not cheap. I sit there and say to myself, God bless those people who can do it.
Well, it's an art, I feel.
Yeah.
People who do it well, they're artists.
Yeah, they are artists. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, that's really amazing. But we're going to take a quick break here on WMSC, and we'll be back. Yeah. And we are back here in Geekly. Welcome back to WMSC Upper Montclair. I'm your host, Trevor Joya. Joined in studio with 2 guests.
Hello.
Sam. Hey. Sam.
Oh.
That's me.
Yeah, and
Danny. Hello.
Danny. Yeah, your mic is on.
Yes.
But obviously coming back, that was a quick break. a long break, but it was good. But
needed.
Well needed. So obviously, have you guys ever been to New York Comic Con?
No.
I need to go.
You need to go.
I'm a big music person, so I always end up spending my money on concerts in the summer, and then tickets go on sale. But it is on my bucket list for sure.
Definitely.
It is one of those places that you can randomly bump into celebrities. Like if you just walk around the show floor, sometimes you can just randomly bump into celebrities.
Have you met anyone?
Yeah.
Who?
Clark Gregg from Avengers. Phil Coulson.
What?
I bumped into him. Like, I randomly bumped into him.
Did you say hi?
Yeah, I said hi. I told him I loved him in the Avengers movie.
Did you take a picture with him?
No. He was too busy.
Okay, of course.
You know the show Castlevania on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met the showrunner for that show.
Oh,
what?
That's awesome.
And I actually got into a full conversation with him.
Oh.
Like, he was the nicest guy ever. Like, he was so happy that there was a fan of, like, his Power Rangers reboot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
I'm not as cultured as I should be.
It's like he did a video of a Dark Power Rangers reboot, and it's one of the coolest things ever. And like the whole joke of it is like it's Dark Power Rangers. That's funny.
Yeah.
But I really liked it, and it was like I saw him and I'm like, oh, that's that guy, and my friend is like, what? My friend is like, what? My friend is like, oh, that's the guy who showruns Castlevania, and I said hi to him, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's so awesome to be a fan. I'm like, yeah. And then I got to meet Blind Wave, the YouTube channel.
Ooh.
The channel, you know, the channel that does trailer reactions.
Yeah.
Blind Wave.
Oh, okay.
I met the whole crew.
What?
Oh, that's cool.
Yo.
Yeah. Like you just randomly run into YouTubers sometimes. Like I randomly ran into the Pizza Party podcast from Rebel Taxi.
Oh.
Like they're really funny. But last year I got to meet Lloyd Kaufman of Troma. What a nice old man.
Yeah.
Very nice. But, yeah, and I saw one of my friends who used to work at a movie theater. I'm like, AJ? I'm like, that's you? And I'm like, and he's like, Trevor? And I'm like, yeah.
Classic.
You're working at Troma? And then I'm like, and he's like, yeah. But one of the things that I definitely loved was the fact that I like going up to because it's more of a relaxed place. Even though it's hectic, you can get celebrities to actually talk to you sometimes. Yeah. Not all the time, but just like, if they're in a rush, yes. If they're in a rush, no. If they're not in a rush, you can possibly talk to them.
Unless it's Keanu Reeves, then he'll stop and say anything. We'll have a conversation.
Oh my gosh, I love to meet Keanu Reeves. Yeah. I'm one of those people's like, I think Keanu Reeves would have a lot to say if I was a filmmaking major. I think he would.
He would, I think. Yeah.
He would.
I feel like he just knows everything.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to show it, but deep down, he just knows all the answers to the universe.
Yeah.
He's that type of person.
He's that type of person. Yeah. But for me, like, I love that stuff. So, for me, like, it's just like you don't want to think about, like, meeting celebrities because you just want to get on the show floor.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things where it's like, tip number 2 is, like, definitely bring a backpack. And definitely bring a good water bottle. Like the water is like here in Montclair, it's expensive, like really expensive, and the food there and also if the food at the Jacob Ajave Convention Center, not saying anything bad about it, but it reminds me too much of Montclair food.
It's convention food.
It's convention food.
Wait, Montclair, what Montclair food? Is there a specific place?
No, there's
just Montclair food.
Just Montclair food. The more you're on campus, the more you start to realize how
you're a freshman.
You're a freshman. Okay, you don't realize how interesting the food choices here are.
It loses its charm really quickly.
It does. And but the cool thing is like they bring in food trucks. For New York City Comic Con.
I do love a good food truck.
So, like, usually, like, I go to the Philly cheesesteak one because they have really good Philly cheesesteak. But for me, like, that's obviously, like, if you want to go to New York Comic Con, bring a lot of money. Bring a lot of money. And not saying that to be mean, I'm just saying that you don't know what you're going to buy.
Well,
and never trust yourself with a lot of money.
As I said, I haven't gone, but I do have friends who go every year, and just the stuff they come back with, it really is.
It's bad
stuff. It's stuff to be envied because they have like I feel like just all of the weirdest fan art you can ever find. You find it there.
Yeah.
So.
But the coolest thing is if you go to one of the conventions or like something like that, like it's a really fun place to go to. But like for me, like the number one tip I've always heard is like, please take a shower before you go to New York Comic Con. Please do. I don't understand. Like, it's really important for everybody to take personal hygiene seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, some people do not take showers at New York Comic Con. I don't know why, but they just do.
Bring an emergency deodorant stick in that bug bag. You know what I mean?
It's like one of those things where I'm gonna probably take a shower before I go.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Because I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because it's not a like. And plus, you also could get a cold and con sickness.
Oh, sorry to.
Yeah.
I also feel like with that many people packed into the same space, you're already bound to get like sweaty and gross. So you need to start off from scratch. You can't already be a little sweaty.
Yeah, I don't like that. For me, I'm just like I'm like seriously, just take a shower before you go. Please do. Like, I'm not knocking anybody and just saying like, please do that. I can't deal with that. But that's really awkward. That's a really awkward thing to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like, for me, it's like there are a lot of fun things about New York Comic Con. Like one year I was on the Adult Swim live stream.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got on the Adult Swim live stream and they thought I looked like a kid. So the whole thing is like sometimes I look a lot younger than I do.
Uh-huh.
And that's the whole joke of me, is just I look a lot younger than I actually am. I'm 23, but I don't look it.
Oh wow, you're older than me.
Yeah, and I'm like, people are like, you're 23, and I'm like, yeah, I don't look it. I do not look like I'm 23.
See, I also don't look it, but I feel like I at least have like a lot of height going for me. Like an
you're fine, you're fine. But for me, I'm so short. Yeah. For me, I'm just average height.
No one who is 23 actually looks 23.
No.
I think the only thing that's keeping me from looking like a baby is my beard.
I'm like I don't want to have a beard.
I think you're younger than both of us, and you look older than us.
Yeah, you look older than us.
It's because of the beard. If this goes, then it's just like I'm a baby. I'm the youngest one in the room. Yeah. Well, I am the youngest one.
Yeah,
in the room. Yeah.
You are.
Just don't look it.
Like the cool thing is would you like ever go to a convention like that, like New York Comic Con?
Yeah.
Like it's fun, but it's just like one of my friends is going all 4 days.
That I couldn't ever do.
No, it's like going to like a festival for 4 days. Like, I cannot do that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I've gone to festivals for not 4 days, but 3 days.
Yeah, and that's.
I like them because I do love music, but they get exhausting after day one.
Yeah.
So
I feel I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like I would only do that if like some days I would only be for like going on the show floor, and stuff. But other days just to be at panels, because I know they're like really long and like the lines are really long to get into those. But I feel like if it's like a panel that I'm interested in, probably whatever they're dropping, is probably gonna be good. I mean, like San Diego is usually where most people just drop their bombs on us with their big announcements and stuff. But I think hopefully this year we'll see some bigger things come out of New York.
Yeah, I think so, because I'll probably have a lot of pictures for the New York City Comic Con. Because I like taking a lot of pictures.
Nice.
And like when you're a filmmaker, you just know how to composite shots that look interesting. So it's not just like, oh, it looks nice, but I'm like, no, I'm actually willing to get on the floor and be like, okay, that's a good shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Like, to everybody who's going for the first time, good luck, have fun, and also understand the fact that this is nothing like you've ever seen before. And if you're a legacy like me, we're going to have some awesome times. We're going to laugh at some of the new people coming in. I'm just one of those people who's like, I love like laughing at the first years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not at New York City Comic Con. because it's kind of like, oh, you're just starting out. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into. I'm like, you have no idea. I'm like, none. And I'm like, but obviously, what to expect in New York Comic Con? What can fans expect? Obviously, we're gonna get Watchmen, the first episode supposedly. We're gonna have Birds of Prey, which I don't know. I don't know about that one, but Amazon is gonna be there with The Expanse and Jack Ryan, I think.
Oh, really?
Which is cool because I really want to go check out The Expanse booth because The Expanse is one of my favorite shows. And they're going to have Marvel TV and Marvel Comics is going to be there, and DC is going to be there, and Warner Bros. And for some weird reason, they didn't mention this, but they said 1917, the World War I movie, is going to be there as well. The movie about World War I by Sam Mendes. It looks really good. It looks really awesome. But obviously one of the cool things is like Funko Pop. One of the cooler ones is the Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah.
I feel like Funko just does everything, and I really appreciate
that
it.
one. And my best, the Beat contributor, Alex Centeno, is here.
Hello.
We're talking New York Comic Con. It's our 5th year in a row going, right?
Very true, yes.
Very true.
Except I'm going on a Sunday.
Except you're going on a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday tickets are always available.
Yeah, I know they're always available.
Oh, I mean always, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, you were at the Doctor Who panel last year, right?
Yes, I was. I had to leave a little early from it, though. I couldn't finish the full episode.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I think this year they're going to have the Watchmen panel.
What day is that?
Friday.
I need to start paying attention to these things.
Yeah.
I really don't pay attention to these things.
No, you don't. I don't think there's some stuff going on, but not everything going on Sunday.
Not much going on Sunday, I will admit.
But they're gonna have that new World War I movie's gonna be there. 1917.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The World War I movie shot by Roger Deakins and done by Sam Mendes of Skyfall.
Huh.
Even though I don't trust Sam Mendes.
I kind of enjoyed Skyfall a little bit.
I love Skyfall, but even though he directed Spectre after that. But obviously, like, what are you excited about New York City Comic Con? Because this is your 5th year going.
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot I've seen. There's a lot I've really seen. I mean, it doesn't really seem like I'm going to be meeting any, like, guest stars on, any, like, actors or anything like that this year, so I'm not really too sure, in all honesty.
Yeah. That's really interesting. For everyone who doesn't, this is one of the Beat contributors, Alex. He's been on the show countless times.
Yeah, I have.
And he's one of the people that if we have a full-blown argument, it's going to get fun.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
It's gonna get fun.
I'm rooting for it.
Because if it gets fun, like.
Alright, I'll start one.
You want to start? You want to start one? You want to start one?
I'll start one right now.
You want to start one?
Yeah, let's
go.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Let's go, bro.
I'll win.
Let's go.
I mean, you're wrong, but still.
But should we do the debate that we've always wanted to do?
Yeah, let's.
Which is RoboCop.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because remake was bad.
You finally agree with me.
What do you mean finally?
No, you finally agree with me. You finally agree with me.
Yeah, I think Trevor here has somehow lost his mind.
No.
He's lost it.
No.
I mean, I remember
a few years ago, you said that the remake was better than the original one.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
You said that. You did say that.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with
I
that.
wish I could record it. Because you said to me back in 2015, you said randomly, I said I like the original RoboCop, and then you said you didn't like the original RoboCop because of the sequels.
That I actually am serious about, though.
Yes, I understand.
That I am serious about.
But
I never said that the remake was good. You see, I remember in a previous episode of yours, actually, with another Beat contributor, Ian, that I told him that the remake was terrible.
It is.
And you see, this guy's making up stories.
Oh my gosh. But
don't make up stories, man. You gotta tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Are you telling the truth right now?
Of course I am. I'm always telling the truth. I just like to be smug about it.
We don't have a Bible.
He's
give me that Bible.
Give me
that Bible.
He's a very smug person.
Do you actually have a Bible?
I don't have a Bible.
I know. I would actually.
You actually have a Bible? I'm like,
I know. I was like,
oh my god.
I don't have a Bible, but I do have the Book of Scientology.
Scientology.
Yeah, that's close enough. I'll take that.
Let's take that. Yeah.
I don't actually have one. I just wish I
Alex
did.
Centeno would never lie about movies.
Yes, he would.
About movies.
Yes, he would.
Everything else, of course, I would.
Because, yeah, that's true. That's completely true. Because you lie a lot about other stuff.
Sure,
You
let's
do.
go with that.
You do.
Sure,
You do.
let's go with that.
You do.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right.
So give me that Bible. I'm just kidding.
So,
Book of
like,
Scientology.
did you ever see any celebrities at New York Comic Con?
Yeah, I usually do.
What'd you
Sometimes.
see?
Well, one time I met John Bernthal, which I don't know if that's like a huge celebrity, but that's
Yeah.
something,
Oh,
right?
he's pretty big, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. I mean, he doesn't do a lot of like blockbuster movies. At least I don't think he does.
But he's like known. He's done
true.
stuff
Like
people
he's
like.
done Walking Dead, Punisher, and that's all. Those are the only two things that come in the top of my
He's been
head.
in a few movies that I've never
Yeah.
watched, but I've seen the trailers for.
Yeah, he was in Baby Driver, which was a pretty pointless role. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And I've met Mark Hamill. That's
Oh,
for sure.
nice.
He
What?
was expensive.
What?
Yeah.
He was expensive. That's why I had to do a
What?
group
Well,
picture.
yeah, he's Mark Hamill.
I
He's
had to
Oh,
do
wow.
I had to do like a group picture with that.
I
with
love
that one,
him.
Yeah.
He's such. He just seems like such a sweetheart.
And
like,
that was
on
his like
Twitter.
last Comic-Con as well, like
Oh.
here, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess it's now or never. I mean, I didn't want to spend that huge chunk of change, but I mean, it was a group photo, so that was like a hell of a deal there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does Chris Evans ever go to these things?
No.
I really
No.
want to meet Chris Evans.
He probably goes to San Diego.
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
makes sense.
that and Ace Comic-Con. If you've ever heard of
No.
Ace.
Ace is like a
It's like a brand new convention
Yeah.
that's been going on lately.
Where?
I mean, that's a great question.
Seattle.
There's one in Seattle, one in Arizona, one in
It's in places that normally
Chicago.
don't get
Chicago.
that get
Yeah.
they get okay conventions, but not great ones.
But they have Chris Evans, so.
They have Tom Holland. They have Tom.
Tom
Hiddleston.
Holland.
Tom
what?
Holland.
Tom
What?
Hiddleston. They have Jake Gyllenhaal even. I mean,
I don't like
seriously.
him as much. I don't care about him as much.
Are
but
you kidding me? Now you're really offending.
yeah, no, I'm not the biggest fan
We're
of him.
gonna start another debate now. Jake Gyllenhaal,
It's not
great
a debate,
actor.
I just don't like him.
He
You
has
don't-
the
you don't like Jake
What
Gyllenhaal?
don't? What
I
you
don't
like about him?
Okay, I want to
Yeah,
clarify. I
yeah.
don't dislike him. I've just never seen anything where he's like blown me away.
Just watch
And also-
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. See, that's to be fair. I haven't seen Nightcrawler, but wait, he
What?
was in.
That's not to be fair. You
he
should have
was
seen it by
in-
now.
Enemy. Was that it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't like that movie.
That was horrible. It was one of the
Yeah,
worst
I
movies
was like,
I've
that
ever
wasn't a good
seen, and he
movie.
was in that. So that definitely, I already was mostly neutral on him, and then I
I'll
saw that,
admit
and I
I
was
did-
like,
What about Spider-Man?
I'll admit, I did. Why did you
See, I
see
haven't seen that one yet
Oh.
either
Wait
because
a
I'm
second.
awful.
Why did you even watch Enemy? That's like such an obscure
Someone
movie.
recommended it to me,
That
and
is
it was
such an
by
obscure
it was
movie.
by A24, and I love everything they do except for Enemy, apparently.
I mean, it's
So-
one of my favorite directors. Maybe my absolute favorite director, but still, though, that's not one of his best movies. I have to admit.
No.
It was.
It-
I
it's-
feel like technically he was good. The writing was just so awful that he wasn't good. 'Cause-
They were really going somewhere with that movie until like the second half, where it just got messy as hell.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's one of those
Scratch
movies
that
where
last
everyone's
part.
like, "Oh, there's a big twist," and they sort of hinted it, so it's profound. It's like, no, it's poorly written, and they just pop a twist at the end and do a few little things to justify
Yeah,
it.
like
But
no-
that's
like
not
no
good
suspense.
writing. That's lazy writing, but it's pretentious. So
Like no,
we
no
act like it's
suspense
good.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
no
director for that movie is really good though. Like
Dennis-
he made this movie, Denis Villeneuve.
Are you-
He's made Prisoners, great movie, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. By the way, that's one crazy combination of actors there. Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. Honestly, I've never imagined in a million years those two would be in the same movie together. Blade Runner 2049, love it. Sicario, and what?
Arrival.
Arrival was so good.
Yes.
Arrival I loved, okay?
Yes.
I feel like Arrival is technically what people think Enemy is, where it actually makes sense at the end.
Okay.
At least to me, I picked up on what they were doing. Whereas with Enemy, I was like,
that's a strange comparison in my personal opinion, but okay.
Well, they're very different, but it's like that thing where they sprinkle in a little bit of info throughout so it can all make sense at the end, except the sprinkling works in Arrival. It doesn't work in Enemy.
Thing is, though, I had to watch Arrival 2 times to like fully appreciate what they did there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like, watching it one time, I mean, at first I just couldn't really understand it so well, primarily because I fell asleep. But and it was literally in the theater itself.
Oh, no.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And then I rented it in DVD. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually a really good movie. Jeez, what was going on with me around that time?
I don't know what happened because I usually don't pick up on that stuff as well, but Arrival, something about it just as soon as it ended, I was like, oh, that's what they were doing. Like, usually it doesn't click for me upon the first watch, but with Arrival they did, which is why I think it's so good that if I was able to get it the first time, that means that it did, at least to me, was really well done.
Yeah. But that movie was well
I
done.
wanted to ask you a question, Alex.
What's up?
Because I wanted to ask you about Dune.
Dune. Yes, Dune.
Because
that's the next film that my boy the director's doing.
Because have you thought about like how long this movie's gonna be and like how
I want to say it's gonna be like maybe close to 3 hours, like 2 hours and 40 something minutes.
Yeah. So
because like I know the book, it's like pretty complex, convoluting, and also like a lot of lore behind it that you really need to you really need to divulge in just one movie.
And I feel like that's very hard to do because the last time they did Dune, it didn't do as well.
Yeah, I never saw it though. I only read it.
But the movie that from the early 80s was a movie that commercially bombed. And the thing that worries me about Dune is not the fact that it's not going to be good, it's the fact that it might commercially bomb again.
I mean, that's what happened with Blade Runner 2049, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe the same with Arrival. Like, it did great movies, but they did not do fabulous in the box office. I'm like, seriously, watch these movies.
Yeah.
They're so good. Like, the box, seriously, they don't make money. Why can't they make the money?
I sat there and said to myself, those movies are very hard to make and hard to market.
Yes, they are. They really are.
Because, like, how can you market a movie about spice traders and all this stuff and a very complex lore behind it?
That's because I feel nowadays, the society that we do live in movies, we sort of expect something like a huge spectacle, kind of like Avengers now.
Yeah. Like,
Avengers.
for me, I do like watching very quiet movies. I'm one of those people I do like watching.
I need to be in the right mental mood to watch a quiet movie, or else I will fall asleep.
Well, I think that's the issue, is that so many people watch movies not because they're looking to like experience some sort of art or thought-provoking thing. It's that they want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And I'm not entertained when I watch slow movies. Like, I love them, and they're the ones that stick with me the most. But I can't say like it's like I'm sitting there being like, oh man, this is fun. It's like, no, oh man, this is wild, or not, you know what I mean? Like, I think definitely spectacle appeals to people because it is way easier to take in, and a lot of people don't watch movies unless they need something that they can just sit there and take in without putting in extra work.
Yeah, like drama movies is really hard to make, believe it or not. Like, you can make a really good story, but you need like a famous celebrity to be in that movie in order to people to watch it. Like the movie Gone Girl. Believe me, I don't think that movie would have been as successful on the box office if Ben Affleck wasn't in it.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I think if you look at, I keep bringing up Arrival, but Arrival didn't really have selling people.
Yeah, I know.
Jeremy Renner and
Amy Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, Amy Adams is like getting up there. I mean,
she's getting up there, but definitely she's
yet.
She's not like a Scarlett Johansson or like an Emma Stone.
True. Well, I don't even think Emma Stone's up there yet.
Emma Stone was up there. I don't know.
Now she's not anymore, right?
Yeah, but
I feel after Spider-Man is just it just kind of went down there. Yeah, I'm being serious. I do think it's because of Spider-Man.
I will say I am a big.
Emma Stone fan even now, so she's just always my go-to
actress
that people like.
I mean, I enjoyed her in La La Land. That was pretty good.
So we're gonna take a quick break here in WMSC. We'll play we'll play in WMSC Upper Montclair with a bunch of guests, with a whole room of guests.
All right.
And before that was Sum 41. We're all to blame from the awesome Godzilla Final Wars movie. If you get that reference, if you did, that's awesome. Applaud yourself. Give your clap on your hand. But we're here in studio with Danny.
Danny, hi, hello.
Sam.
And
Alex.
And
the one and only.
The one and only. Yeah. Sure, but
people may be willing to take my name, but you know what? They'll never be me.
No, they won't. There's only one Alex.
Of course. And it's literally just Alex. I don't have a full name.
Just Alex.
Yeah, it's just Alex, literally.
But obviously we're going to get into Geek Pulse. For those who do not know, the Geek Pulse is the geek news of the week. Is everything that's going on in the world of geek and pop culture is going to be really fun because it's so packed with news this week.
Mm-hmm. And some good news, too.
And some good news. And some good news. And some awesome news. But we have to get in something funny, which is Kevin Feige is producing a Star Wars movie. It's not funny.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What is it? What is it?
So we don't know yet. We don't know yet. But remember back in like spring semester, remember when Kathleen Kennedy was on the hot seat for Solo, not doing as well?
Oh yeah, that I remember.
So there's supposedly people up high, like the CEO of Walt Disney Pictures does not like Kathleen Kennedy. So does Bob Iger does not like Kathleen Kennedy. So supposedly this is a sort of way to put this is my own opinion. This is not WMSC's opinion. This is my own opinion. It's a way to put Kathleen Kennedy on a short leash and just to say, you're gonna have Kevin Feige producing the movies now. You're not gonna be the.
They kind of just want her to be out of these projects.
Yeah,
now.
they kind of want her to be like.
They don't want to like outright fire her, but they just want her to be just
they
away
just
from
brushed
the
aside.
movies. Yeah, brushed
like
aside, exactly.
because they don't want to give her much power anymore. Because I think it's nothing against people. It's nothing against this. It's just sometimes when you make mistakes enough, you're gonna get like in trouble.
Eventually, yeah.
And I said this.
I mean, word spreads pretty fast.
Yeah, and supposedly it was during a business call where supposedly the whole talk of Kathleen Kennedy wanting to be let go and all that stuff. And yeah, it's very interesting because nobody wants to be the Lucasfilm president, and nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants to have that job. But
that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
It is really funny because like nobody wants that job. Nobody.
Especially what happened after episode 8 of Star Wars.
I think there's going to be a lot of.
No, that's an argument we can definitely get into.
But yeah, because I think Star Wars Episode 8 was.
You thought it was fantastic.
I
thought it was.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it
now
too.
There's another argument I have to get into. Okay.
But
it's 3 against 1. I'll fight. No problem.
But obviously, the next piece of news is Spider-Man back in the MCU for one film and one guest appearance.
Let's remember that this was only a situation that was going on for about a month.
Yeah. So let's
I know, right?
Let's say this. Back in episode 2 of Geekly, I said, do not believe that everything is going to be closed down because they're always working on something behind the scenes, and we don't know it yet.
Always,
it's Spider-Man. Yeah. I wasn't expecting it to go anywhere.
No, and this is quite honestly the thing.
Thing is though,
it left on a huge note, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
but
spoilers.
It left
like basically. I'm not gonna get spoilers, but this is like a good way to say it. Like, if they had just ended the way they did in Far From Home, and literally just ended it there with the character, with nothing after it, then you would have been mad.
Yeah. See, I heard from someone that it could make sense, actually. I don't know what it was. I just...
Top of the hour.
Yeah, it's top of the hour here at WMSC Upper Montclair. Thanks, Alex,
for
welcome. Catching that.
So what were you saying?
So what were you saying?
I don't, again, know too much, but I actually heard from a few people that it actually would have made sense as an ending.
No,
was like,
no,
they're lying to you.
Who told you? Who told you that?
They're lying to you.
Who told you?
Pals who said
Liar!
That. I have a few.
Your pals are liars.
It's just,
I gotta see it and judge it for myself.
No, it doesn't matter if you don't watch it.
I'm gonna watch it out of spite. Now I'm gonna go in and say, yeah, no, it would have made sense.
No, you're not.
No, you're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, I know exactly what they're talking about now.
And you're gonna be like,
exactly. I was right. He was right.
Yeah.
He was right. Your pals are liars.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't matter if you haven't seen it or not. That's not a note you're supposed to leave off on.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
For sure. I mean, seriously. Plus, I don't know. It's like good to. It's reassuring that this time Spider-Man will have an entire MCU trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like either way, I feel it should end that note.
Yo, why didn't you watch the movie? I want it now. Is because no spoilers. # no spoilers. But like if he would have been out the MCU, I feel like what they were building up in Spider-Man Far From Home. It probably wouldn't it
would have been in vain.
It would have been everything would have been in vain.
I also feel like even if they weren't building anything up, it's people were not ready to let Tom Holland go as Spider-Man. People love him.
That's true.
I think he really is the MCU's greatest asset right now, without a doubt.
One of their greatest assets.
Yeah.
I think I don't.
That's a scary thing though.
And
it's owned by Sony. That's the thing.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting here saying to myself, he's probably the best adaptation of Spider-Man.
He's the best Spider-Man. I don't care what anyone says. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we have ever seen. Yeah. Anyone who says otherwise just can't handle nostalgia.
Look, I believe he's the most comic book accurate Spider-Man.
I agree.
Yeah, the most comic book accurate Spider-Man.
That's what I believe.
Because he's
funny.
He's funny.
He's a kid. Like, literally a kid.
He acts like Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
He does.
Yeah.
And he's such a dork.
He's such a dork.
He really is.
Tobey Maguire was a dork too.
But he wasn't a good Spider-Man.
But he looked so old as well.
He lacked dialogue, to be honest.
Well, everyone looked old in that movie. Okay?
No, but here's the thing: he lacked dialogue.
He didn't make me laugh when he was Spider-Man.
No.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's supposed to like. I liked him as Peter Parker, but then he puts on the suit, and I don't care, and that's the exact opposite of what
and
he
it's like, and he takes off the mask too much.
You guys want to hear an unpopular opinion?
He just lacks dialogue. Like he doesn't.
Yeah. You want to hear an unpopular opinion? So I liked.
Don't say Andrew Garfield.
Listen.
Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield was a better
Spider-Man. Okay, hold on. Pause. All right, you went way too far. What I was gonna say is that I think Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, but a bad Peter Parker.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was a better Spider-Man.
What everybody says.
He was a worse Peter Parker. But Tom Holland's the only one to do both.
Yeah,
he was the one that was just too cool.
He was way too cool.
He was too cool, man.
He was like, I'm just a bad guy. I'm like, no. Peter Parker's not like that.
He had a skateboard and got the girl right away. That's not.
Remember that scene with Flash and he like dunked on him?
I'm like no.
Like, I don't think he would ever Peter Parker would actually ever do that.
Yeah,
I don't think he would ever do that.
He's supposed to be kind of like a wimp before getting powers, but after getting powers, he's supposed to be still semi of a wimp, but a little better.
I mean, in the second movie, he was kind of a wimp too. Like, he would just cry all the time about, we're not supposed to be together. Your dad died, and you know.
Oh yeah.
So it's like.
But that also lasted like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't really like what they did with his parents and all that stuff. It's like that's just garble.
They were supposed to do there was a deleted scene where it was like
his father was alive.
Was alive. It would have made no sense. I mean,
it would have made less sense than what their actual ending was.
Well, you know what's telling? I think about. Sorry. You were making a point.
Yeah. No. I pretty much just made my point. It would have made less sense than what their actual ending was.
Yeah.
What's telling about the second movie is I really barely remember any of it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the big moments, but for the most
Gwen
part,
Stacy's neck going
that
180 degrees.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
forgot so much of the plot line.
That was one of those things where they actually gave it away in promotional photos.
Yes, they did.
They actually did, and it was like if you pull up a promotional photo of I forget which picture it was, but if you pull up a promotional photo, she's wearing the green jacket, and you're just like saying to yourself, did they actually give away the Gwen Stacy's gonna be killed in this movie?
If you know comics,
I'm like,
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. But we're gonna take a quick break here in WMSC Upper Montclair, and we'll be back.
We're not done with this topic.
Yes, we are. We'll be.
Hey, parents of children with asthma, here's another hit from the Breathe Easies.
Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke in the house. Don't smoke around the kids in the house. Don't smoke in the car. Don't smoke in the house. Don't break my heart with your secondhand smoke in the kids. You can trigger the asthma.
Preventing asthma attacks can be as simple as making your home and car smoke-free zones. For more Breathe Easy tips to help stop asthma attacks, go to noattacks.org. Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
Hey, we're To the Skyline, and you're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey.
Houston, the Hawk has landed. This is one small step for man, one giant leap for college radio.
You're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, New Jersey.
And what is up, guys? Welcome back to Geekly. I'm your host, Trevor, here at WMSC Upper Montclair. We're joined in studio. Sam had to dip for a little bit, but
yes,
he'll be back.
we all get hungry at times.
We all get hungry at times.
It's a blessing.
We're here with
Alex
and
Danny.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're gonna get back into the Geek Pulse. The next piece of news is the Uncharted movie now has Travis Knight as director.
Wait, yeah, the Uncharted. That was a good game series, though.
It was. I loved it.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the movie because even it's a weird transition, but Tom Holland is also in that movie.
Isn't
but it's
what's her name?
It's gone
Daisy
for
Daisy Ridley.
no,
be in the
no,
movie?
that's another movie. But
yeah, my bad.
it's weird that I think this movie has gone for two other directors already.
Well, I'm not excited for it. That's
No.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, there's a lot of backlashes with video games becoming movies.
Yeah.
A lot of backlashes.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, minus, I guess, Pokemon Go, even though I'm not a big Pokemon.
Detective.
You said Pokemon. What?
Yeah, I said Go.
My bad. That movie wasn't bad, though.
No, it wasn't bad. I'm just not a big Pokemon fan.
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you were, I'm sure.
I still watched the movie, obviously, but I mean, and I enjoyed it at times, but I'm like, but I keep asking myself, was this source material, was this really the best they could choose? I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know.
I mean,
I know. It's just one of those things where just like you don't know if it's
like I feel they could have chosen like a storyline,
like
something
Red or
no, something based off of the anime instead of the video games. You know,
I mean, they already have the anime though.
Yeah.
No?
But why not make but why not try to make a good live action adaptation of it? You know, I mean, I feel it could work.
I think that they took it in a different direction.
I know, yeah. I just don't know why that direction. That's my question.
Yeah. It was just one of those things where they kind of felt it was necessary, but
that's just me though. That's just my personal opinion.
But that could have dipped into the whole like bucket where it's like, this is a like already beloved like story of like Ash, and we don't want to touch on that or ruin that in any way. So let's
because
do
the
this
anime
new
is
thing.
still going on.
Yeah, it is. It's still
it ended recently.
Recently, yeah.
But okay, the recent. Like, did the whole series end?
No, I have no idea.
I have no idea, but
I'm just taking his word for it.
Yeah, obviously the next thing,
like, Uncharted being a movie. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to it.
But the next thing is the Birds of Prey trailer is today.
Yes, that is true. The movie, right? It has like a really bad, complicating name to it. Birds of Prey and something Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I'm just calling it Birds of Prey because I'm not calling it the.
I know, it's a really inappropriate name.
It's a really long title, and it's really not an interesting
I can't even remember it.
I can't even remember it, too.
But
he's looking it up.
But I got the laptop.
But obviously...
Birds of Prey, I don't know why...
No, there's more.
Okay, the Birds of Prey and the fabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Is that something you should be saying in a radio?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Neither do I.
No idea.
Emancipation?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's like word restrictions in like in this radio show, so I just don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. But
it's a really weird title. Don't really think it should be like that long. I'm just gonna call it Birds of Prey or just by its initials.
BOP.
Huh?
BOP.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
No, BOP and
Bop.
The rest of the initials for Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But obviously the next piece of news, Hulu got rid of Ghost Rider TV show.
That was gonna be I forgot that was gonna be a TV show. So now they canceled it.
Yeah.
Hashtag canceled.
Hashtag canceled.
And obviously, the next piece of news, I'm just going through it because Stranger Things Season 4 announced.
I still haven't seen Season 3, but I'm not really like...
I have not seen any of it.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Unpopular.
Yeah, boom.
But it's just there's a lot of things on the list, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anime on it, you know. I'm going through right now, so it's like
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yes. Okay. So, tangent.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's fine.
Do you think? Okay. Would you like? So my friend, right? We got in an argument saying like, oh, what's better? Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood or My Hero Academia?
My Hero Academia.
Yeah, My Hero Academia, right?
My Hero Academia.
It's like
My Hero Academia.
Okay, because
Brotherhood is great.
It's really good, yes.
But it's not like My Hero Academia level.
I love it.
Season 4.
Season 4.
And I think when is it coming out?
It's coming October 12th.
October 12th.
That's 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks.
I'm counting down. Count down the days.
It's like because
I'm not.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. I read the manga,
and no spoilers.
But can I just say this one?
Okay,
though?
all right.
This might sound like a spoiler, but it's nothing giving away the plot or whatever.
Okay, right.
I'm personally not looking forward to season 4 because I don't like the story arc that they're about to adapt. Because I don't like the story arc that the manga did all that much.
Yeah.
All right. It's subjective. It's completely subjective, but still, I don't really like it personally that much.
I heard, according to people who read the manga, this season is supposed to be crazy. Like I don't want to.
We don't know because we don't read the manga.
Yeah.
He's the only one of us that's just like.
Like maybe they mean later on in the season it's gonna be crazy. Like whatever arc they're gonna adapt afterwards. Because they've adapted a lot in just one season. I have to be honest with you. Like they adapted like 3 arcs in one season.
Which
well,
one
3.5 actually. The camp the training camp arc.
Yeah.
The retrieving Bakugo arc.
Yep.
The that little
All for One.
No, not All for One. The that's part of the retrieving Bakugo arc. The training thing where they did with.
Oh yeah, with their quirks.
Yeah, with their quirks.
Wasn't that in the same?
What that was.
Wasn't that
I forgot what it's called actually.
The licensing.
The licensing exam.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one. And then I said 3.5, right? Well, the half part comes where Bakugo and Midoriya fight.
Okay.
That's part of a different arc. And where they meet Mirio, the
million
the permutation guy,
who
can go through walls. That's technically the start of a different arc, but it's the start of it. It's not the entire thing.
Yeah.
So they adapted 3.5 arcs in one season. So I'm like a little impressed.
You think they're gonna do the same thing for this season?
Potentially, yes, if they keep going with that pacing.
So
I think they will because remember that they took like a 1 year break, over a 1 year break from My Hero's Academia to release this season. Yeah. I think that's why. I
think it's gonna be. I think
to let the manga get a huge head start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I think season 4 is gonna be long.
It's gonna be just as long as season 2 and 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be just as long.
It's just, I think they're going to adapt a lot, though.
Yeah.
I'm just not excited for the Overhaul arc. You know who Overhaul is, right? The guy who showed up in the ending. And I don't really like him. That's the thing.
Is he going to be only in the first arc? Because if they're fitting 3 arcs into one season, that first arc is it only that guy? And then the second arc, he's just like gone?
Or yeah, like pretty much, actually. Okay. But that was a pretty long arc, though.
Okay.
It was a pretty long arc.
Maybe they're only doing like 2.
Like a full half of the season, you know what I mean? Because that Overhaul arc, it was a pretty long arc.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Hopefully it's not only
I just hope it doesn't take up the entire season.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, just because this is just me. I don't like that arc all that much. That's what I'm saying.
But, like, did you guys see the Kingsman trailer?
I have not seen it, but, well, actually, yes, I have. I was just so tired.
Tell me about it.
I was just super tired.
It looks really good. It does look really good. It's
like Tom actually showed it yesterday.
It's like the origin of the Kingsman Secret Service.
Yeah, Tom showed it yesterday. I was just so tired to watch it.
Yeah, it looks very awesome. It looks very well done.
Like, I watched it, but I was paying the worst attention ever because I was, like, on the verge of sleeping. That's like the weird thing. By the way, I just want to say that Monday mornings, they're not my mornings. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're any. Well, I mean, it's Tuesday.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Monday mornings are not my mornings.
Well, it's Monday mornings are nobody's mornings. Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Because like I need to wake up very early that day, but I can't though. That's the thing. I can't go to sleep early. I can't wake up early. I just can't do none of the above.
So obviously, like, do you guys want to get into the horror meltdown?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Because there's not much news, so it's just small stuff.
Let's do it.
And the first piece of news is Halloween Kills adds Nurse Myron from the original horror Halloween movie.
Wait, Nurse Myron?
Like, you know the nurse who is in the first opening minutes of the movie?
First opening minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
In
the first Halloween.
In the first Halloween.
From the 70s.
Oh, the woman that was with Loomis.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I keep forgetting she's still alive. Okay.
Yeah.
No. It's just that there was a Halloween movie where they said that she was dead. Yeah. But I keep forgetting. But yeah, I'm just realizing the newer Halloween movies are ignoring those movies. So I'm like, yeah. So technically she's still alive.
And they're bringing back the original actor, the original actress.
Yeah, she was pretty young.
Yeah. And obviously the next piece of news is 6 classic episodes of The Twilight Zone will be coming to theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
When is that?
November.
Okay. Why not Halloween? All right.
I don't know why not Halloween. I think it would be perfect to release them on Halloween. It would have been awesome.
Yeah, it really would have been.
This space was probably taken up by another horror movie.
For sure.
Yeah. But, yeah. And the last piece of news is James Wan new horror movie will be titled Malignant. It will be like an Italian Geely horror movie in the vein of Suspiria.
Malignant? That's a strange name.
Yeah. You know how, like...
What does it mean?
I do not know what it means.
Yeah, I feel it has, like, a meaning behind it. I just don't know what it is. But,
obviously, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to go back into the horror topic, which is horror... sorry about that.
Yeah, I was confused.
But, hey guys, we're back here in WMSC, Upper Montclair. That was Take a Bow from Muse, from the first or second trailer of Watchmen.
Probably the first.
Yeah, probably the first.
We don't know.
But the next topic is horror TV shows.
Yes.
So like obviously one of the most famous ones is obviously Tales from the Crypt, which is from the early 80s. Do you know that show?
I do not. I'm not familiar. I feel like I heard it somewhere.
I've heard of
it, yeah. I just haven't really seen it.
Yeah.
Tales of the Crypts.
Yeah, it's an awesome show. It's one of the few, it's one of the older, anthology horror shows.
Kind of like Goosebumps in a way?
It's not the first horror anthology. The first horror anthology TV show was Night Gallery, I think.
Not Twilight Zone?
No. No, Twilight Zone is more sci-fi.
Yeah, that's true.
Sci-fi horror.
That's true.
It's not like people say the reason why I like Twilight Zone over Black Mirror. I'm one of those people because I'm like
oh, it's not Black Mirror is not even horror. It's just
shock value.
Just shock value.
And I don't like that I don't like that.
The irony though is that that show actually did get me caring a little bit for the characters in the show rather than the actual message that they're sending. Mm-hmm. I don't care about the message you're sending. That's the thing.
Like for me,
they keep sending it over and over and over again. I'm like, I get it. Let's do something more narrative. Have a narrative here, guys. Come on. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, honestly, I just don't like the. That's why I don't like Black Mirror. I tried giving it a shot. It just didn't work.
Yeah,
I've yet to try it.
It's not like a show that's like great to watch. It's great, but it has moments where you're just like.
Do you want to commit suicide?
Like, oh my.
That's how it works.
No, but
that is the show though.
Yeah, but talking about horror TV shows, I know you were talking about Haunting of Hill House. Mm-hmm. Did you watch? Yeah. You watch that show?
Yo,
I think we all watched it.
First season.
I think we all watched it.
The first season was great.
The first season was so great, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, "Oh yeah, this guy's gonna direct Dr. Sleep." Yeah, which is gonna be awesome to watch. And it's gonna be
when
horrifying.
Is that coming again?
It's coming out November 12th.
Snap! I got my calendar all ready for it now.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
At least I think.
I have to pull that up
because I have to watch
that movie.
That movie. Just cause like the Shining, I feel it's gonna finally be like a Shining's movie that was not directed Kubrick style. Just cause I don't really like Stanley Kubrick's style of directing. That's all.
I don't like his directing style either.
And that kind of what made the original Shining movie really hard to watch for me.
And for me, that's the same thing with that. It's just I don't like movies that just
felt like such a long movie. How long was it really? It felt like it was over 3 hours, but I know it wasn't.
It's 2 hours and 33 minutes.
Okay, it was actually kind of close to 3 hours.
But like this is me and Alex just not being like me and Alex just not liking the movie. It's because like it's not the fact that we don't like movies. It's the fact that if we don't like a movie, we're just like we're not happy.
I don't know. Like I just think this movie just had issues. The Shining. A lot of moments where nothing was happening.
Here's when Dr. Sleep is opening. It's opening on November 8th, 2019.
Okay. Yeah. I'm glad for. That's good. That's good. All right. I am excited for that movie. Relatively.
That falls on a Friday. Look at that.
Yeah, it's always on a Friday.
Always on a Friday.
Yeah, except for Spider-Man Far From Home that released on a Tuesday.
That was weird. That was a little bit weird. But,
I think there was a lot of competition going on around that time.
But
a lot. Yeah.
I genuinely like. I liked it. I don't like. For me, I like the idea of the Haunting of Hill House. I loved it. Like I sat there and said to myself, this is like a good old fashioned ghost story.
It is.
And I'm like, this is the kind of stuff that I want to see. Like where it's not audio based jump scares. It's more like.
It's very subtle.
It's very subtle. And it's jump scares.
Yeah.
And like scaring you. And it's so subtle. And I'm like, this is what we need now. This is the kind of stuff we need to change horror. Because I know this sounds weird, but I'm like, if we want to change horror from jump scares to more subtle stuff, we have to look at like what made those old movies work.
Yeah, like movies like Midsummer, I don't think would actually work. If you've seen Midsummer.
No.
I'm sure you've heard the stories of Midsummer.
Yeah. And it's like
it was very trippy, but it was like, but everything was very subtle and very just casual. But I don't like, but it felt very. I don't know. It was just too long of a movie where a lot of nothing just happened.
I don't like a movie where nothing happens, and I feel like
it kind of feels like it's a 3-hour movie when it's really not.
When it's really not.
Yeah.
And like that's why I like more like that's even though for me this is horror TV is very hard to do. Like you have to like there are only a few handful of shows that I'm just saying like that are really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Like Channel Zero.
Yeah.
You know the show?
Yeah, I do actually.
It's like it's sort of like taking creepypasta and then improving it and making it more watchable for TV shows.
All right.
And they change it up each season. Like they have a new cast for every season, and they have a new story every season.
I mean,
I like that.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No, and then you have
at least personally.
The Strain, which is the vampire the vampire show as an infection.
I haven't seen that.
And the book is really good. Like the book, The Strain.
I haven't seen it, but how is the TV show?
It's okay. It's slow paced, but
okay.
I'm just like it's good, and it has Kevin Dunn in it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. So
Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn.
Yeah.
He sounds familiar. Who is he again?
If you see him, you would like recognize.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
But obviously one of my favorites is Hannibal.
Yes, Hannibal was a pretty nice show.
Ooh,
did I ever give you back the DVD for
that?
that?
You did. Okay. You gave it back.
Yeah, because I kept it for a long time and I forgot that I finished it.
Hannibal. Have you ever seen Hannibal?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the what's his name? Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen.
I think I saw some of it a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember I don't actually remember it, really.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it.
It's one. Good. Yeah, I'll let you finish.
It was pretty good, I think. You know, like a horror movie, a horror series that apparently is bombing right now is The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
Which we're all laughing about because of Walking Dead.
Fear is doing so much worse now.
Fears is doing worse. Walking Dead is doing worse.
Wait, is it fearing being worse or is it doing worse?
No.
It's
There's
doing
a TV show called Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And Fear is doing so, and it's I just refer to it as Fear.
Okay.
Just to get it less confusing, make it less confusing.
Yeah.
And it's and honestly, how could they have put themselves in a huge slump like this? Like they were doing such a great job at first, and now they're just soiling it.
Well, I mean, I think if you do something for too long, like if you continue a show for too long.
This was only for like 3 seasons.
Was it the third season? Was this the third season?
No, this is the 5th season. It was like the first 3 seasons was doing amazing. Season 4 had a fantastic start, and then it just went downhill midway season 4. No, they should not have, because it had like that. They should have just done. They should have just done what they were originally intending to for 4.
Remember that story you told me?
Yeah.
Which one? The one where you broke your foot. I'm doing the ski.
Yeah.
I'm doing the skiing.
You broke your foot while doing skiing?
No, like doing sledding.
The sledding, my bad. But so you know the rule.
That was back in high school. I'll tell you off air.
So you had remember the rule of 3s? I think the same thing really applies for
TV shows.
Yeah, for no, I'm saying right now for The Walking Dead, they should have stopped because after the third time you're just asking for trouble. You know what I mean? Because like I've seen a lot of TV shows go on for way too long than they should have, and then go really like downhill.
Yeah. Supernatural.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say something like Fairly Odd Parents. I mean,
That's also true. Yes.
That's also true.
That's also.
And it's like
true.
The rule of 3 is like basically like if a show or like a movie goes beyond 3. It could get into dangerous territory.
In my opinion,
I think SpongeBob did it.
I mean, in my opinion, I think it's 5 seasons, but okay.
Yeah,
I think you go above 5.
Yeah,
if
you go above 5,
that's where you.
I mean, sometimes it works out.
I know, but I feel
The Office.
I think you need like a full proof.
Season 9, the last season, no.
Well,
no.
okay, it was. Okay.
I think you need like a full.
No,
proof
after
plan
Michael Scott left, no, it wasn't the same.
No,
show.
I mean. Like, he left in, like, the 7th... Was it the 7th season that he left?
Yeah, he left in the 7th season.
Well, okay, so... I don't like... Something I didn't like about that was Robert California. It was just very, weird to me.
But, like... California?
It's played by James Spader, and that's how I knew.
Crazy name.
James Spader played Robert California.
Yeah.
And for me, it was one of those weird things, like, if you don't watch The Office... There's a point in the series where Michael Scott leaves.
Spoilers.
If you've seen the show, how many, like, so many people have seen the show countless times, they know when, like, certain shows.
Get on it. It's getting off of Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, like after season 7, I felt, like, season 8, season 9, except for the series finale, I felt it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Because I sat there and said to myself, it's not as quick-witted, and I don't like this new character of like I forget what is the printing company.
Oh, Saber.
Saber. I was one of those people like I don't understand this. I just gave up. I was one of those people like.
I mean, I liked it when what's his name bought Saber. So and then that's when
Robert California.
No, it was after that. It was like
when
the old boss.
The old boss. Yeah. Bought Saber.
Yeah. I didn't like the lady. That lady with the dogs. I didn't like her.
Yeah, I didn't like her. I was one of those people like, yeah, you probably had no clue.
Yeah, I don't really care, but like,
yeah.
The Office is a show. I mean, I wanted to get into it, but to be honest with you, like you said before, there's way too much on the list right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially The Office is like a big chunk of whatever list you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it takes up a lot of content. It does.
But people who watch it watch the entire series more than one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can get really fun and really intense, and
nice.
it's like one of those things where I've seen the show twice.
I've seen it like 3 times. I'm not even
really.
Lying. Yeah, there's some. I mean, look, there's some people who watched it 7 times. Okay? No, because you know that Billie Eilish is a big The Office fan.
Yeah.
And like she did a whole interview with what's his name, the guy who played Dwight, Rainn Wilson. And he like quizzed her on like Office lore, and she got most of it. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, this show it's nice. This is a good show.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
But like.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, my mom just texted me about The Office talk.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. She likes
man.
The Office.
Does she like The Office?
Yeah,
No,
she does.
Hate The Office. Okay.
She likes The Office. I love
That's a good question.
And one of my favorite episodes. What's your favorite episode of? My favorite season is season 4.
Which one was season 4?
Season 4 was Dunder Mifflin Infinity.
Oh yeah.
That was the funniest season because it had two of the best things. It had the launch party, which was really funny, where they kidnapped the pizza guy.
Yeah.
Where they kidnapped the pizza guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is the first episode, the last episode of that season, where you find out Ryan got caught for embezzlement.
Do you know about...
That was the funniest moment ever because you're just like.
Oh yeah. I mean, I kind of saw it though.
Yeah.
Like you know, like you could see it coming because like he said, oh yeah, just put it in anyways, and everyone was like, what? You know?
Yeah. But like the other thing was like my other favorite episode of my favorite opening was the fire.
Oh yeah.
The fire one
Today,
was so funny.
Smoking will save lives.
Smoking will save lives. And he throws it into the trash, and you're just like, no, Dwight, don't do this, don't do this. And you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best moments.
Sure,
it's
let's go with that.
And it's one of the best moments. And it's like
lives.
Save Bandit. Angela throws Bandit into the window, into the walls, and then Bandit flies back down. And then you see Oscar just dangling his legs out.
Oh my god.
And then I think Kevin smashes the vending machine.
Oh yeah.
And he just starts taking the food. And he just starts taking the food. I'm like, yeah, that's what I would do.
Yo, facts.
And then Michael Scott just took one of the took the presentation thing and just smashed it again.
Somebody help!
Yeah, and then you saw, yeah, that was one of the best episodes. And then also during that episode when Dwight takes off the mannequin mask.
Oh yeah.
Because he's like, where's the heart? Where's the precious heart? And it's like this man has no organs. But.
That was season 4 of The Office.
Season 4, I don't know which season that was, but that was one of the best. That was one of the best openings.
Okay.
It is one of the best openings. I think it happened during the Super Bowl. Like after the Super Bowl.
Digressing for a quick, for a brief moment, by the way.
Yeah.
John Krasinski.
Yes.
Great actor.
Yep.
He deserves to be Mr. Fantastic in Fantastic Four.
Okay. I think we were actually talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
I saw fan stuff of him being Mr. Fantastic, and with the beard, like I see it happening.
I see it happening too. Like if they were to keep his beard as Mr. Fantastic,
it would be awesome.
I will not complain.
Yeah.
I will not complain.
But if he doesn't have the beard, no.
But wait, is it true that John Krasinski is directing A Quiet Place too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he did the first one, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. No, I actually keep forgetting that. Okay. Yeah. No, I keep forgetting that fact. But I'm not looking forward to that sequel though.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need a sequel. It was a good movie on its own.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
A really good horror movie of this modern era.
Yeah, it was a really good horror movie.
Did you like it too?
Yes, I did.
I didn't watch.
But the first one was better in my opinion.
I think the first one was better because of Carrie Joy Fukuhama's script.
You know, it's hard to make sequels. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No. It's not even.
No,
just
I mean
that.
that's like it's like.
No, it's not that. It's just because I've actually thought about because Carrie Joy Fukuhama.
That's such a long name.
Yeah,
Go
it's
on.
such a weird name. But he directed the first
dude.
He wrote one of the first pass on the script for the movie on It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
That's why it has so much heart.
Hola.
Yeah. But the next topic is Halloween. Halloween, we're going to do the Halloween countdown because it is October season. It is
October 1st.
It is October 1st.
It is spooky season.
It is spooky season.
Spooky month, yes.
Spooky.
Very spooky.
It's very spooky.
And now all the dorms are decorating.
Yeah.
I think.
I put stuff on my door. I have like a fake skeleton head in my dorm room.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Because I'm one of those people. I'm like, I'm having year round. His name is York, after York. Poor York, after. In like Hamlet, yeah.
Okay.
But obviously, like I wanted to do a movie like for Halloween Countdown. I'm doing a movie review every single week up until Halloween 31st.
Okay.
October
31st.
The week of October 31st, And then I don't know what I'm gonna do after that.
Thanksgiving movie reviews.
No, because there aren't any Thanksgiving horror movies.
Probably one.
There's probably just one.
Just mention a different thing about the movie each week.
Yeah.
You know what? No, make it Wallace and Gromit a month. Okay.
I don't
do it without context.
But this week's movie is You're Next and Funny Games. So I'm gonna say this about Funny Games. I hate the movie. I really do hate Funny Games.
Isn't it just like literally just torture and no plot?
Yeah, torture and no plot. Like I can't watch it because
basically,
I'm
you have to like shut your brain off to watch the movie. Basically like with Funny Games,
it's like at least You're Next has fun with it, and it actually gives power to like the heroine.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie in Funny Games, it does not do that. It is one of the most mean-spirited movies I've ever seen in my life. It is so mean-spirited that I'm just like, no, this is. And then when I watched it, like, it was not a good day to watch it.
Well, another potentially good scary horror movie that Dan, right? Danny just mentioned is the Wrinkle.
Oh no, Wrinkle's the clown.
Yeah, Wrinkle's
the clown. The real life documentary about a Florida clown who goes around terrifying kids if they do bad.
Does it have like a narrative behind it?
Yeah,
it's a real story.
Yeah,
it's a real.
It's
Florida.
When I say narrative,
it's Florida.
I mean,
it's Florida.
It's Florida, man.
It's
That's
Florida.
all you
What
need
do you
to
expect?
know.
It's Florida.
Is it
terrifying.
Miami, Florida?
No, it's Florida. It's just Florida.
Just
They
Florida.
really do need a horror movie. Where it's just Florida.
Florida.
There's not even a killer. They're just like the people are in Florida and they need
Dexter?
to drive out of Florida.
Oh, you mean Dexter, basically.
I think
That's
two.
an entire TV series.
I think two of the best. I think if you pull up a story and it's like 90% of the time it could be from Florida, like 80% of the time it could be from Florida.
And people
because
tell me that
like
Florida's
those crazy stories of like there was one in Ohio recently where two Amish people got completely drunk and they like went up a tree and they left their horse and buggy. Like that was the weirdest thing out of Ohio, but Florida just has weekly things of like. What is
daily
things
what's crazy to think about is we're not in Florida. We just hear about the Florida stuff that leaks through that gets big enough. But think of how much stuff happens in Florida. Like if you have a local news subscription to like some community in Florida, it must be ridiculous.
Yeah, you must get like alligator in the pool or like that's just
like normal.
Yeah, that's just normal.
That's the norm. They have everything there. They have just any animal that wants to murder you and ends up in Florida.
And they have these bugs that are so massive. They're no joke one of the most massive bugs ever.
Didn't they have like Nile crocodiles at one point? Like how do you
I would be shocked.
Miami area of Florida, I believe.
Like I think one of the funny. I think if we pull up a news article about Florida, it would just be like, Florida, blah blah blah. A Florida man does this. A Florida man robs a gas station while just Florida everything. Like I think one of the ones that I really like is the Florida man running into a gas station and just not knowing. I don't know, but there are so many good ones.
And like, apparently clowns just going around murdering people. Obviously,
no, not murdering, just scaring.
Scaring.
Yeah,
okay,
but that's awful enough. If it has a clown, I don't care if I don't get murdered. I don't want it to happen.
Was it just scaring though?
Well, from the trailer, I can't tell.
Yeah, right.
I haven't even seen the trailer yet, so I don't know. But I will assume that there is murder behind it.
Well, yeah, we don't know. I mean, why would they make? I think like, what's the point of making a documentary about this? I mean,
I don't know. I feel like even without murder, that's a pretty interesting thing. That if you have a clown that just goes around
something must have happened.
People.
Something must have like really happened for it to be documented.
Okay, this one's good.
I feel that too.
This one's a good news story. A Florida man arrested for a DUI for mistaking a bank drive-thru for a Taco Bell.
Florida.
A Florida man drunkenly called 911 and to report his wife is a Black Widow spider.
Wow.
So wait a second. Why do they have Disneyland in Florida?
I don't know.
Out of curiosity. No, I'm just asking this because of all this.
This one's good.
This is obviously not a good environment.
A Florida
for
man
kids.
makes a beer run with a gator in hand.
This is obviously not a good environment for kids.
Never
okay?
made a beer run with a gator in hand.
What? Like,
no.
They
Lived your life.
They need to move
You've lived
Disneyland
your life and never
somewhere
had a
else.
gator in your hand?
Disneyland is like a little. Disneyland is awful. Let's be honest.
No, they need to move. They need to move Disneyland somewhere else, though, because this is obviously not an environment for kids.
Let's be honest. Walt Disney World is in that weird stretch of I Drive, where it's just a weird, like, you have weird gift shops, you have weird attractions and all that stuff.
They needed something to be there.
And they just need something to put there.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this not to be mean or anything. They just need some curb appeal. Like who would, like, quite honestly, that's the thing. They needed tourism. And so but like
they have Universal. Well, that's not for them.
But Universal was built in the 90s.
Yeah, it was, but it's still great though. I love it.
But Universal's more like more for film buffs theme park.
Yeah, true.
It's one of the theme parks that I would say
for Disneyland, I feel it's meant for like illustrators and things like that, in my opinion.
I think Disneyland's just meant for anyone who has the money. Disney World is meant for anyone who has the money to go to Disney World.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm not going there, because I don't have that money.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have the money to go to Japan? Okay.
I didn't have the money for that, but it was Japan.
Jesus.
For me, Universal is one of those places that I want to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney is like one of those places that I do want to go back to, but I'm just like, it's not on the top of my list.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those weird things where it's just like, yeah, it's cool, but...
I mean, I kind of want to go back there, yeah.
You've been on the Harry Potter ride?
Yeah.
I've not been on Harry Potter.
Yeah, I've been to them, all the updated ones too, bro.
Dude,
awesome.
I went
I'm not even joking. Like, my last time going there was like about 2 years ago. And that was right after they had just remodeled Harry Potter Land, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just threw in some I think they might have threw in no wait, I'm lying.
No.
Actually, no, they didn't. I was gonna say that they threw in some Fantastic Beasts rides there, but I think I'm lying.
No, there are no Fantastic Beasts. I think we're gonna get Fantastic Beasts in the.
That was just
Universal's third theme park.
Then they drastically expanded Harry Potter Land. Then drastically.
I feel like that is their selling point.
It is, yes.
No one was going to Dr. Seuss. I mean, I would go to Dr. Seuss World, but that's not
because
the biggest.
Honestly, I feel you would go there to sort of just make jokes and whatever. There.
I wish,
but not
the
not
world
to
looked
go
like Dr. Seuss illustration.
That
would be my dream.
What's his name right there? Let's call him. I don't know, Gordon. I don't know.
But it's just like one of those things where I'm like, I like Universal because like of the whole like they really get into Halloween, they really get into this, they really get into like
a lot of Marvel rides.
It's like
wow.
Oh yeah.
Because,
the advertisement is crazy.
No. Because Universal owns Marvel up to Georgia, up to like Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much they own the theme park rights to Marvel stuff.
Yes, they do.
They don't own the stuff past of the Mississippi. Like, basically, past the Mississippi, Disney can do whatever with Marvel. And people say to me, does that explain? Like, yeah, it explains a lot. But we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into some horror trivia. And then we're going to get into some Spider-Man celebration stuff.
Yes.
And we're going to have some fun on Geekly. It's been a fun show so far. And we're back here in Geekly. Welcome back to WMSC Upper Montclair. That was a quick break because I wanted to play Seven Seas of Rye, Queen.
Yes, he did.
Nothing wrong with that.
Because Queen is just so good. It's so good.
No arguments.
Yeah. But obviously, we're going to get into some fun horror trivia. I know Alex is...
Okay, play this game, guys.
I will fail miserably.
Yeah. So we're going to get into... I'm going to give you guys an easy one.
Okay.
No, give them a hard one.
No, give me an easy one.
The easy one will be the hard one, okay? For us.
The easy one will be the hard one for them.
Sure, let's go with that.
You know what? I'll give them the hard one.
Oh, no.
Yes!
Okay, go for it. Let's go for it.
Okay, a widower moves into a large old mansion to work on his music. Not long before he starts realizing there's something very wrong going on with the house. And he discovers that he's not alone, and he's home with a boy named... And he's sharing a home with a boy named Joseph. What is the name of this less popular 80s horror movie? Is it A, Crimson Peak, B, The Changeling, or C, Don't Look Now, or D, Hush?
I'm going with whatever.
The Changeling?
I'm gonna say Changeling because I think of a little kid
Yeah.
being a changeling.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey!
Yeah, we did it.
Which
was that a hard one?
that was a little bit Harvard.
Because Crimson Peak is like it came out 4 years ago, so I know it's not that.
But what 2001 remake featured murderous specters that could only be seen with special goggles? Is it A, Scream, B, Final Destination, C, 13 Ghosts, or D, The Haunting?
I'm gonna say Scream.
Scream?
No, it's not Scream.
It's not
It's
Scream.
one of the last two. I just don't.
Repeat the last two. What was the last
Repeat
two?
the last two. Yeah.
C, 13 Ghosts, or D, Haunting?
13 Ghosts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
13
just
Ghosts.
randomly
I
go
like
with
13 Ghosts. I like
13 Ghosts, it is.
13
Hey!
Ghosts.
And
Yeah,
that-
we're
and-
doing this.
And,
we're
and,
doing this.
and if
These
you
are hard
actually
ones.
and if you actually know this, that is a remake of a William Castle horror movie from the early 60s, from the early 50s, and it had this whole gimmick of like when you went to see the movie, they had ghost-o-vision where you could see the ghost if you were terrified, and if you could watch the film and see the ghost if you really wanted to.
Like Stan.
And then you can see like,
Alright.
and then if you really wanted to see, and if you really didn't want to see the ghost, you could just go, and you could just like
That was a
not see the ghost.
You know, that was a consistent issue with
Like-
with Game of Thrones the final season, believe it or not.
Like it's like the William
There were a lot of
Castle.
consistent
William Castle is
I know.
one of those
still
topics that I really want to
side.
get into on Halloween. He is the king of gimmicks, and he is the king of like gimmicks. Like I don't want to get into everything that he did because I want to save that for the Halloween episode. But just know that I'm gonna do that. I know I'm gonna talk about the director because he's so interesting in all this stuff. But like 13 Ghosts is a weird movie because if you look at the lore behind the movie, the lore of all the ghosts are just so awesome. Like there's some of the best lore I've ever seen for a ghost movie.
I haven't seen it, but it's gonna sound.
It's-
all I
it's-
can think of is the ghosts from Casper the Friendly Ghost.
No,
cartoon.
it's
Just
Oh,
you
nice.
put on the
4 ghosts,
glasses
not
and you
13.
see them.
no, it's
Oh my
nothing.
God.
It's nothing.
That's 4 ghosts, not 13.
It's nothing like that. It's more like it's like an okay horror movie, not great, but it's not as. But it does stuff different than the original one did.
I go just for the glasses.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, you are wearing glasses.
But obviously the last one is something that I want is the last hard trivia question, which is which 1977 horror movie was a colorful nightmare and mainly takes place in a dance school? Is it A, The Blob, B, Suspiria, C, Halloween, or D, Prince of Darkness?
Did you say 1978?
1977.
Okay, then
We
it's
say
not
whatever the
Halloween.
second one
It's not
is.
Halloween.
Yeah, I was
Well, it
thinking
wasn't Halloween.
What was B?
No, because that.
We all know what Halloween
Was
is. I
B?
hope we all know
Yeah.
what Halloween is about.
Suspiria.
I know, yeah, but it came out like 1978. That's the thing.
Suspiria.
It's also
Suspiria.
Halloween.
Yeah, I know.
So what are you guys' answer?
What was the second one?
It was
Suspiria.
Suspiria.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
second one.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going with
C.
B.
Yeah, it's that one.
Hey, we
Hey,
did
all
it!
Alright,
Yay.
yeah, we're doing it.
Clap in half.
So
We did
so
do it.
Yeah, we
so
did.
for those who do not know, Suspiria is a remake. Suspiria was remade this last year, and I still think the original one is still the most terrifying movie to watch on Halloween. It is one of the few movies that will shook you to your core and will not it will stay with you for weeks. And I love the idea of like it's a colorful nightmare because the movie is so colorful to look at, but it's so intense.
That's really.
It's not like friendly. It's one of the few films where I'm just like, it's from 1977 and it's Italian, but it's one of the most scariest horror movies I've seen. Like that will like literally like you will not like think straight for like a day or two.
Honestly,
Okay.
Italian film can get weird. Like,
No, this
I
is-
respect
They really
it. I'm
can
saying
be.
in a good way. They
Like-
really know how to experiment.
Yeah, they
Like-
really do.
like,
no,
that's-
honestly.
that's-
I saw an Italian film last year.
Like-
Oh my god, the way how they did
Like,
it was like so weird.
This
I'm
is
like,
one of my
my
favorite things.
God.
Is like, I like showing people. For me, one of the things as being a filmmaker is like I like showing people movies they didn't think they knew, or movies that they think that
they
I
most likely did not know existed.
did not know existed. And for me and him, because we both talk about movies a lot, and basically I like showing people, hey, this is an insane movie. Hey, this is really cool. I don't say that you should go out and watch it, but it's just like, if, like for me, I'm gonna put together a Halloween horror movie list because Halloween is one of the best holidays to watch horror movies, and so is the month of October, and like for me, I love this month. is one of my favorite months as like a horror fan. Is one of the best months.
It's a great month.
It is.
I'm a big fan of it. I mean, Halloween's the best.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the best holiday.
I love Halloween.
Even
like
though some people will never call that a holiday.
I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite.
It is a holiday.
It's one of my favorite holidays. If
it happens yearly, it's a holiday.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite holidays. It's just really fun. It's like some people really get into Halloween, like me and like, yeah. It is now 12 p.m. 12 p.m.
Top of the hour.
Top of the hour here in WMSC Upper Montclair, and like, do you guys like love Halloween? Like,
of course, yeah.
Like
huge fan of Halloween.
Of course.
I don't trust people who don't like Halloween. Like, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm meeting you and I learn you don't like Halloween. I might still end up befriending you, but you're gonna have to work a lot harder.
Yeah. I like Halloween, but there is something that I found a little bit like that's weird for me for Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like, say for the other day, right? I went to Fright Fest at Six Flags.
Yeah.
Right, and we were eating at Johnny Rockets. For some reason, I can't eat if like creepy stuff is happening around me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I just feel disgusted. Like I'm just eating and I see a zombie just walk by. I'm like, why? Like, you know, and it's just like I don't want to eat. So it's like you go trick or treating, get chocolate, get all this candy, but then you look behind you and then there's like Frankenstein. You know, it's like, well, I don't want to eat this now. You know, I'm just like kind of grossed out.
Well, honestly, Frankenstein isn't something you should be grossed out.
No, I mean, I just as
zombies
an example.
I can understand, but not Frankenstein or
But
vampires.
I mean, like it's literally just a man with like you know.
Yeah.
Frankenstein isn't technically, he is a zombie, right?
Yeah.
Technically.
No.
Yeah, technically speaking, yes and no.
He was dead. He was alive.
Yeah.
Okay,
but,
if you say so.
But like,
he's a clean zombie.
But like,
a clean zombie.
He's a very clean,
Vanilla
sophisticated zombie.
But like for
created
me,
through technology.
Yes. For me, I love this idea of like I love Halloween because like people like me like get really into it, and if I really wanted to decorate, I probably would put really funny decorations up. Because I'm one of those people like there was a house in Closter, remember? There was a house in Closter that had a bunch of Halloween decorations.
I think so. I'm
and
trying to remember.
And it had like it had a parody of American Idol, and it had a parody of like this and
like
that.
Where in Closter was that?
I think it was somewhere. But hello, what's up?
Hello, this is Catherine with Live Out Loud Charity. I'm calling to get the best email address to send a suicide prevention press release to you.
You'd have to contact the I think the station manager.
Okay.
It's station manager at WMSC Radio at WMSCradio.com.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
What?
I'm good. I'm not asking.
No, it's just sometimes we get questions like that. But
wait, no, was that like a call? Did somebody call around? Oh, okay. I didn't know we get those.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but like.
Well, unfortunately, we do.
Yeah. So obviously, like going back to Halloween, like. You remember that house a little bit, like
yeah,
a little bit,
like
it had an American Idol parody.
A little bit of it, yeah.
Like it had. I don't want to say some of the jokes because it's really dark.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I have like a vague memory of it. I mean,
it was somewhere in Closter, but I think like the people moved.
Closter, yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't remember.
Yeah, it was this awesome house, and like. And Cresskill also has the street on near Cresskill High School.
Yeah, that I know.
Where it has the bunch of like really good trick or treating.
They really do have some good decorations around that area too.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're pretty good. I'm like impressed. I get a little bit jealous. A little bit jealous, but then I'm like I get over it.
When, like I love the idea of like that stuff. So for me, we're gonna take a break and then we'll be back here on WMSC Radio, and we're gonna be Geekly. We're here in WMSC Upper Montclair.
Hello.
And we're winding down to the last minutes of this. The last
hour.
The last hour of the show.
Yeah.
I can't talk. I don't know why.
Yeah. He still has some more topics to talk about.
But I still have some more topics to talk about. These guys, I don't know. But.
So you were saying about the Spider-Man topic?
Yeah, the Spider-Man topic.
Yeah.
So obviously, because like Spider-Man is back at Marvel.
Yes.
Which is
for
awesome.
Now.
Which is awesome for now. For now. We're putting
this deal is extremely temporary. temporary.
This deal is extreme.
Well, we don't know the extent of how temporary this.
I mean,
well,
we kind of do actually.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
after this whole drama,
like believe it or not, like back in like 2015, they did actually tell us the full extent of the deal. All right, they told us that Spider-Man will be in 3 or 4 movies. He'll be in Captain America: Civil War, Avengers, his own solo movie, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home. They told us that those 5 movies, that's it for that deal. After that, they have to think of a new one. So in a way, we did know the full extent of the deal.
Okay.
And I feel for now this is the extent at this moment, but they might still think of something. You know what I mean? They might still come up with a new deal. Who knows? You know?
Yeah, and people say to me like,
I'm just happy they're gonna at least complete the MCU trilogy of him.
I think that's very awesome.
Because now that Sam isn't here, by the way, let's talk about that ending. Oh
that
god.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh god.
So,
like
okay.
seriously.
What you want to talk about first?
The what the
Okay. So
yeah.
If you guys didn't watch the movie, if you care about spoilers, now is your time to leave. Okay.
Now is your time to leave.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Plus, I don't know. You've had plenty of months to watch the movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. It's like,
enough.
Sam, what's wrong with you? Where is he? I don't even know where he is. Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
So
Let's just talk
matter.
the spoilers before we talk about it. Before he potentially comes back.
Yeah. So, Spider-Man was revealed to the world by J. Jonah Jameson, by Mysterio, that his true identity is Peter Parker.
Exactly.
With a picture and everything.
That would make a great storyline.
If they would have stopped it there, like, I'm sure they could have
been so mad.
No, that they could actually gotten away with, because like, oh yeah, now I'm in hiding and I'm here chilling with Venom.
That's a really terrible way to go about it.
Yeah, but like that they could have probably done something like that. What I would have been really mad about is how the entire movie they spent making Spider-Man like the next quote unquote Iron Man. You know what I mean? Is like
not the next Iron Man, but the next big thing.
To lead the MCU, right?
To lead the MCU.
That's basically what Iron Man was.
He's not going to replace Iron Man.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, obviously not. But like I'm saying that he would. They set him up to take that role as the big superhero, right? And now what I'm afraid is if Kevin Feige like writes out Spider-Man after the third one. You know, after all this build-up and, like, because of all this drama that's been going on, I really hope he doesn't write him out, and I hope that they could come to another agreement or something so he can, like, take up that role. Because if he's going to take up the role as Iron Man, right, and he's going to be the next big superhero, then he needs to be, like, in the MCU, like, all the time, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't just risk, like, oh, yeah, maybe he'll be in this movie, maybe not, maybe if something happens, you know? And it's just not, that's not good, you know what I mean?
Exactly, I agree. It's just that, but for once, Spider-Man 3 is going to be a storyline where it doesn't have much to do with the Avengers, you know?
Yeah. Which is awesome because I think the guest appearance will be another Avengers movie.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I hope so.
I think they're holding back on what the possible Avengers thing is.
It's either Avengers or Fantastic Four, one of those two.
Imagine Fantastic Four and Spider-Man.
Gosh.
That's what I was thinking.
But no, in order for that to happen, they would have to, one, introduce the Fantastic Four into the MCU.
Yeah.
And then kill Johnny Storm. And then do the Future Foundation. But even if you do the Future Foundation, you can't make like, it's a guest cameo.
No.
It's not really like
I think they could do something like in the first ever appearance of the first time.
They can't do Fantastic Future Foundation.
No.
Or maybe
hold on. No. What I'm saying is this. They do the storyline with the when Spider-Man first meets the Fantastic Four.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Because then you can do that and make it a guest appearance, and then also introduce the Fantastic Four.
Kind of like what they did with Captain America: Civil War. With Spider-Man being just a guest appearance.
Yeah. Which would be awesome.
Which was satisfying.
Which would be awesome, and I'm like, that would be satisfying. That would also mean you're passing the torch to Reed Richards.
Well,
not exactly.
Okay, no, not passing the torch. No, I just want the interaction.
Even if he would theoretically pass the torch, right? That would be giving Edith to Reed Richards.
That would be in much safer hands than a kid.
But I mean, like, I think Spider-Man, like, now has kind of grown. Even though he's still kind of a kid, he's still, like, I think by the end of the third movie, he's gonna be definitely, like, capable.
Yeah.
More capable than he is now.
Like, we need to see him actually handle a situation, like, literally on his own. Like, nothing to do with Iron Man, nothing to do with Captain America, nothing to do with any of those people.
Yeah, and
like, he needs to be by himself for once.
And I feel like that's one of those things that we're gonna get with the Spider-Man Free.
Like, I think Nick Fury's always gonna be there though.
Well, no, he's in space right now.
He's in space, but like, yeah, but you
I didn't want that to be the end credit scene. I was one of those people. I did not want that. It
felt random.
It did.
Like extremely out of context.
Like, for me, the one thing that I really wanted to see was who bought the Avengers Tower.
Most likely Reed.
Yeah, right.
But to say this, I thought I'm like, when he flew into I'm one of those nerds who's like, when he flew into the former Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
It looked like the Baxter Building.
It kind of does look like the architect of what the Baxter Building would look like, comic book wise.
Yeah.
And if it were to be Oscorp, I'm pretty sure it would look a lot more industrial.
Yeah.
Right.
It would look more industrial, and plus, I don't think they have the rights to Oscorp.
They do.
Do they not?
They technically do. They just don't want to They really don't want to get deep into Norman Osborn.
That's weird. They really took Spider-Man in like a different direction than Oscorp, because every other Spider-Man movie, Harry Osborn and all this, right? But now it's Ned. But even in the comics, I think Ned was in the comics and he became the Hobgoblin, right?
Yeah, he became the Hobgoblin. And I'm like questioning myself, do I think I want to see that? I don't know.
No, I think it's because they were building. I think the reason is because they were really trying to build up to Norman Osborn, trying to be, instead of being Green Goblin right off the bat, being Iron Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, if you mean to introduce him
the
now?
Dark Avengers,
Yeah, to introduce the Dark Avengers.
Like, they really want to take a different turn with Norman Osborn, like make him an Avengers level threat.
But you think they can introduce like the Osborns now? Because the Osborns, like,
they could introduce Osborn, yes.
But a lot of the story was like because of Spider-Man, was really connected to Spider-Man, but that connection isn't there because Harry's not a thing.
But the cool thing is, like, if they do introduce Iron Patriot.
Yeah,
like,
they have the suit and everything.
They have the suit, and like the thing that I'm really wondering is like the possibility of like who, like, I'm really excited for Spider-Man 3. For me, I'm just like wondering, what are they going to face?
Yeah, like all the potentials it has.
J. Jonah Jameson.
No,
that's gonna be the big bad.
No, I think one of the big bads that I really want to see is Kraven.
Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah,
Kraven the Hunter.
I also want to see Scorpion so badly.
Scorpion's going to come back into the picture.
Definitely. I think more likely than not, he is going to be in the next movie.
Yeah.
Only because of the end credit scene of Homecoming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wasn't in Far From Home.
Yeah.
But then again, I probably shouldn't be surprised.
They're probably safe. Maybe what if they're like trying to set up like a
Sinister Six?
Sinister Six.
Well, yeah, but this is just one movie. I don't think that's enough.
No,
they were gonna do 4 movies, but the thing is, this deal that they're having, they need to they need to be prepared for the worst possible scenario where in the occasion that they do lose the rights to Spider-Man, they need to make him end at a pretty good note. All right.
Yeah.
Like, in a way.
And I think that's the best way to say it. It's like,
yeah, honestly,
it's like,
that's the realistic way to go about it.
Even though we would love to see more of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it's not the fact that it's going to be hard. It's the fact that Sony has the rights.
They do. And they're not giving up on it.
And they're not giving up on it because they have a good cash cow. And the thing is, like, they're coming out with Morbius sometime soon. We don't know when.
That might actually do pretty good. I mean, actually, no, I take it back. Maybe not. But
I just think they're trying to do their own thing, and their own thing is like, is making the first 10 minutes of their movies just not interesting. But like with Venom, like, I didn't like the movie.
I haven't watched it yet.
Not a good movie.
It's like the first, like, you know, the rule of thumb with filmmakers is like,
you can see why they're not making Venom part of the MCU. It's not gonna work.
I think Kevin Feige would.
No. If you saw the movie, you would know why.
He wouldn't.
You would not.
He actually stated publicly he wouldn't. Honestly,
no.
He kind of did actually.
Because, like, you know,
the
how
only
like
person who said it was Amy Pascal, but Amy Pascal is like a blabbermouth bit. You know, okay. she talks a bit too much.
But the thing is, like, what I'm saying is like this, is the fact that I think the whole thing with Venom is the fact of the matter is it's not a bad movie. It's just the fact that the first opening 10 minutes of the movie is supposed to hook the audience in, and it doesn't hook the audience in.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that.
And my friend says, no, like when you get past that, no, when you get past the movie and the first 10 minutes are not interesting, that's not a good movie.
It's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign. But we're going to take a break here in WMSC, and we'll be back with more Spider-Man talk, and we're going to get into more of our thoughts on past Spider-Man.
And then there was two.
So yeah, like, what do you like about like geek and pop culture?
Well, explain the question.
Like what do you like because for me, like, I love the escapism of it, or like all that stuff. Like, what are you like really into? What are your favorite, like?
My favorite? Okay, so
what are some of your favorite, like, fandoms, like?
Okay, so I like, there's a lot of things. There's anime.
Yeah.
I'm a big anime head.
Yeah. I'm not much.
You're not?
No.
It's nice. It's definitely something that I was kind of like, I grew up with it because of
Toonami.
Not even Toonami. I actually started watching Dragon Ball Kai on it was on Nicktoons.
Really?
Yeah. You know, that's how I kind of started like watching like anime. You know what I mean? And then like it just I had friends who watched anime, so that I kind of like went through there. I was always like a Spider-Man, you know, Batman. Like, you know, we all grow up with these guys.
Yeah.
And like the first game I ever got was like an old Spider-Man PlayStation 2 game. It was lit. But like, so as like I kind of like grew up with these characters, you know what I mean? And I kind of like watched everything like that's happened with, like, you know, Spider-Man, like the movies, or like the Batman movies, you know? And it's just kind of fun to talk about when you like have all this information in your head that's like, it's like otherwise would be like useless to like other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, I know all about all this stuff. So it's like, you know, it's fun to talk about, you know?
Yeah. With for me, I guess I started finding myself like really enjoying stuff when I was like probably around age 9 or like I was really into like Star Wars as a kid, like really into it. And like for me, Star Wars, Batman, DC, Marvel, and all that stuff, I really liked all that stuff. So it was for me like, it was just like, I didn't care. Like, I started really like not caring when I got into like high school, because I'm like, I just don't care what people think.
Yeah.
But for me, I had this like sort of like weird, like, I don't want to tell everybody that I'm like really into this stuff.
I mean, sometimes you could pass it off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, because I think that like something, for example, like anime is like much more like, it's more common. Like maybe back in the day when it was like kind of new, like, oh, what's this? People like are Japanese and you're reading like the subtitles. Like, why are you doing it? You know, it's weird. But like, you know, but like now I think it's more like, since it's more popular, it's more accepted. It's like, oh yeah, I watched some anime, and it was like, oh okay, it's not my thing, but cool. But you know what I mean? It's like, I think it just kind of like grown in that way.
For me, I grew up more because I'm a filmmaker, and that's my major. Which is really cool, right? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that they want to go into filmmaking. But yeah, I love movies, and I love going to the movies. It was one of the few things in my life that was actually de-stressful for me. Like, it was like a de-stressing thing. Like, I would go to the movies like completely like, oh, I didn't know what to do, blah blah blah, and then I'd go to the movie just be like de-stressed completely.
Did you have like that movie analytical mind when watching the movie, or were you just watch the movie just to enjoy the movie?
Sometimes I watch the movie. After I watch the movie, I have a full like review and breakdown sometimes. Like, sometimes I just watch the movie for just pure enjoyment.
Yeah.
And sometimes I go into a movie with a very analytical brain, because I know what I'm expecting. I know what this, I know that.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot not pay attention.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just like, because I have a learning disability, but it's like one of the things where it just like, it helps me relax.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I got into comic books, I got into that stuff because it was just like, it was really cool stuff. Like, they had characters that were like superheroes. They had characters like this.
Yeah.
And the reason I told you I like indie comics is not the fact that I like It's the fact that I like finding stories that never been told before.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people's like, I really like stuff that I never thought I would see before. And for me, that's one of the favorite things about finding indie comics is like finding comic books that are just like well known, but not like, but they do something different with the source material.
Yeah.
Like for me, Invincible is one of my favorite comic books that I really, really want to get around to reading and really want to get around to completing. You know that book?
Which
Invincible?
I don't think so.
It's a superhero comic book that's written by Robert Kirkman of The Walking Dead.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'm trying to think. It's not connected to any other comic line. It's its own it's its own thing.
It's published by IDW.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Image Comics.
Oh. Okay.
But I like really different. I like all the other comic book companies for different reasons.
Mhm.
But for me, Image is one of my least favorite, but they have some really good stuff sometimes. But that was one of the few comic books that I really wanted to get around to reading and completing.
Why don't you? Right?
No, it's not that. But but for me, the reason I love going to, the reason why I enjoy all this stuff is because it's an escapism for me.
Yeah.
And a sense of it gives me a chance to go away from the real world for a little bit.
Yeah, and a lot of it is very for anime, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Alex who was saying that he didn't like how they took the realism out of what movie was that?
Bleach.
Bleach. Oh yeah. Okay, he talked about Bleach, right? And I'm like, yeah, but in anime you could get away with that. He was saying oh yeah, people get blades through the chest all the time. And there's a lot of examples on this on a lot of shows, but
yeah.
I think with anime you can exaggerate it, and I think it's kind of the style of anime to oh yeah, this guy just got 13 swords through him, but he's still getting up if it's nothing. But that's something that's you can do, and I think that it's definitely because when you grow up watching things like Dragon Ball, it's everyone who watched Dragon Ball growing up has definitely tried to go Super Saiyan. You know what I mean? It's it's kind of has a lot of
wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
It's for me, the reason, this is a really weird topic, but it goes into our next topic, which is fiction versus reality.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the whole idea of, some people don't understand the idea of, fiction not being what is real in the real world. And, is that weird? It's a weird transition.
I mean...
Yeah. I know, I'm terrible at transitions.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It's alright.
But the idea of, some people not understanding fantasy is not reality.
Yeah, I think if you're not a fan,
mm-hmm.
cause I'm not sure everything that's going on with the Joker controversy,
yeah.
But I think if you're not a fan of the source material or whatever,
yeah.
You wouldn't really understand I guess that idea. Oh, it's not supposed to be real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just what Alex was saying about Bleach. Oh yeah, it's really not real.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm yeah, but it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing with that is just it's really weird sometimes because my parents gave me this conversation of fiction is fiction and reality is reality.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most important talks that you need to have if you're going into a creative field, because you need to understand what is fiction and what is reality.
Yeah.
And that whole idea of and for me it's just one of those things where if somebody doesn't understand that, it's just very hard to understand some concepts. Not all of them, but
wait, so what's going on with this whole Joker controversy?
Basically they're very worried that could possibly be Aurora in Colorado, the Aurora movie
sure.
theater.
Oh.
So yeah, they're kind of worried about that. So it's a very hard topic, but I'm just it's one of those topics that's just people are yeah, there's more extra security. I'm listen, I understand the fact that people are very nervous about this thing about Aurora, because I'm one of those people movies are art, and some people don't understand. People judge art in different ways, right?
Yeah.
And some people take art as what it is sometimes, and some people take it as interpretation and take it into their own ideals.
So, like, but why this movie, though? Are they worried about that?
Because it's Joker, and they think it's going to be like the Aurora thing, like, where somebody's going to go crazy and, like, do something really bad or do something really...
That's weird, though. They came out with other stuff. What about, like, the Suicide Squad or...
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
Like, any of those other superhero movies that has crazy characters in them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just, like, it's because, like, the Joker is well-known enough...
Okay.
That they know, like... his MO or
so like no matter what they would have done, this controversy would have been like unavoidable.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dumb to me.
It is dumb because it's like it's dumb, but it's like if you're one of those parents who lived through that, I'm like,
okay,
I totally feel bad for you guys. Yeah. I totally respect it, but I'm just like, you don't need to go around saying to people this movie should be banned, and that's what they're saying. Like this movie should be pulled from theaters
because of that.
And I'm like. Well, do you understand the subtext of Joker? Do you understand the fact that he's crazy because he's crazy?
Yeah.
And he's not, like, normal. He's not part of society. And it's, like, the whole thing about...
Yeah, it's another one of those things where it's, like, you don't really know the source material.
Yeah.
And, like, you just, like, judge it just based on, like, what your perspective is. You know what I mean?
And this is a very dangerous thing happening recently in pop culture where people judge things and take them into their own ideals.
Yeah.
And say that this is what the movie should be. This is what this movie is about. Like, recently with Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Like, I'm going to say this. Captain Marvel is an okay movie, but its ideals are sometimes on the nose. Or too on the nose.
What do you mean?
Like, in the script, it's like, oh, women can do this. Or, like, this character.
Yeah.
It felt very like not like but like very weird to watch as like as like a male fan of Marvel.
Yeah.
It was very weird to watch. Like in the sense of like you're watching this and you're just like I like the character but I can't like connect like with it as well as like the other Marvel characters.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And so like people are saying, "Oh, but you didn't understand the movie, blah blah blah." And I'm like, I understood Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman did not, like, make that obvious.
Yeah. But they were, like, definitely pushing for it.
Yeah.
And even, like, I remember, what's her name? Brie Larson.
Brie Larson.
You know, Brie Larson was actually in the Clifton Commons. That day, me and my friends were supposed to see the movie, right? I would have met Captain Marvel, but my friend's like, oh, I didn't hear it. I heard it wasn't that good. Yo, we were this close to meeting Brie Larson. But regardless.
I just, for me, it's like an interesting point to bring up because it's like, I know you have to go soon.
Yeah, I do.
But thanks for being on my show. Like,
no problem, man.
It's been fun.
Yeah, man.
Really fun, actually. You're welcome to come on you're welcome to be on my show.
Well, anytime. Thank you. I probably will. I'll be back.
Yeah.
So any note you want to end on? Like,
do you want to give your closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts?
Do you want to give your closing
My
thoughts?
closing thoughts?
Okay. What do you think? On anything? On this show in general.
Okay. So, it was fun. It's definitely a lot of interesting conversation with the Spider-Man talks.
Yeah.
Definitely something that is something just recently, like, just... Oh, hold on. There's definitely... It's gonna be weird the next few years with all these movies because of like these loose contracts and nothing's really determined on anything.
Yeah.
And like I don't know what direction they're gonna take them. So it's kind of a scary. These are dark times. Okay.
Yeah.
But I agree with a lot what you said about the realism versus you know it's not supposed to be real. You know. But I think definitely next time. I think we're gonna have some good talks. You know what I mean? All right, but thank you for having me on your show.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
And definitely take off the headphones.
I definitely will take off the headphones eventually. Right. Eventually.
But yeah, it's been fun. Thanks so much.
No problem.
We're gonna take a break and then I'll close out my show.
Bye,
Mom. Yeah, thank you. So guys, we're gonna take a break here in WMSC. We're playing a few songs. And then hopefully we'll be back to close out the show of Geekly. It's been really fun today. It's been way fun. And hopefully you tune in next week and I'll have a complete breakdown of like what happened in New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
So you guys like, if you guys like really like, but basically, if you guys just enjoy today and just enjoy the rest of the week, and if you are going to New York Comic Con, have fun, good luck, enjoy.
Hasta la pasta.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the closing minutes of Geekly here in WMSC Upper Montclair. That was Legendary by Wesley Arms. I like that song. It's just a good, like, you know, like one of those good movie songs. It's like one of those movie trailer songs, yeah. So next week, I don't know what I'm going to have planned yet. I know next week is going to be New York Comic Con stuff. And it's going to be fun. And for those going to be enjoying New York Comic Con, have fun, enjoy, and have a good time. And also know the fact that it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be a pretty fun convention. It is going to be pretty insane. I don't think I think I agree with what the GM said, the general manager. She said like Annabella Poland said like, yeah, nothing can prepare you for New York City Comic Con. I agree with that 100%. Nothing can prepare you. Even though you say you're a seasoned veteran, nothing can prepare you for the overwhelming amount of stuff that there is at New York Comic Con. And to those going all 4 days, have fun, because I cannot do all 4 days. I cannot think about doing all 4 days. But next week we'll have New York Comic Con stuff. We'll have week 4 of Halloween Countdown. And who knows what's going to be on that show next week, because who knows. But to all who's listening, I want to say thank you for tuning in. And as always, Excelsior, ladies and gentlemen. Excelsior.